But we have no idea what we're talking about. This is Brian. I'm here with the coach.
What's going on, people?
How's everything? I hope everyone's is doing okay during this pandemic that we're going through. I want to do a quick shout out to all those people that have given us their reviews. Telling us what's good and what's bad about the podcast. We appreciate you. A lot of love here. And well, this is our second episode. How you feeling about that, Coach?
I'm loving it, man. I've been excited. I had to actually bug this guy all morning to try to get this going because there was no way that I was going without doing episode two. It's just too much. No, I'm excited to actually get on this call and get everyone out of the room and just chill out and be like, okay, I'm getting the zone and I'm gonna do my shit and I'm just gonna enjoy the time that I'm finally looking at someone else who doesn't live in this house.
Okay. Now, I have a question for you.
What's going on?
Now, this is a what if, right? If you were given an option to participate in a movie as an extra, what movie would it be, and for what reason would you participate in that movie for?
Now, do I get to die? That's the question.
Well, I mean, if why you want to die as an extra?
Or if I could be an extra in any type of movie, it'd be a zombie movie. I'd want like my guts ripped out and just like you know what I mean. Do like the thing that I would like. I don't want to be the guy that's like sitting there, in like a Tarantino movie where like you hear gunshots, you turn around like blah, you get shot in the face. I would hate to go out like that. Like I want at least give me a chance to like run and like they like tear me up or something. But I would love to do like a zombie movie or like an alien movie or something like that. Something that like can make the audience jump and then like see myself die on film. Be like, that was corn syrup. They hung me by like the rope and everything. Like that's what I would want to do in a movie because it's not, it's I want to see how it's made. And I would love to be in the process of doing that. Be in makeup for like, even though they hate it because they've done it for like I guess their whole life. They take like 6 hours in makeup and all that. But I would love to do that for a while, just see how it goes.
You just experience that one more time, yeah, oh, at least once in your lifetime. I completely understand that because when I
Exactly.
was thinking about the question, I'm like, okay, what movies would I like to be an extra? And the first one that popped up was, Lord of the Rings. I would love to be an Urukai and be all costumed up and wearing all that heavy armor and going, oh, oh.
And walking.
Just
All
marching.
right.
That's it. Marching, holding a spear. That's all. Doesn't take that much talent.
Like the reason I don't say Star Wars because Star Wars is what we're doing now. We would sit with a green screen behind us and just go and move around like we're in the ship and shit. So like that's why I wouldn't want to do that. That'd be like the only reason why. Like I wouldn't want to be a stuntman though. Never. I'm not jumping off no building. I'm not putting myself on fire, and I'm not going in a car accident. Like I drive like extra. Like all right, I'm out of here. You guys do your thing.
No, yeah, I wouldn't like to be the stunt artist. I mean, going through exploding cars, getting beat up,
Yeah,
going through, thrown out from one place of the room to another place. No, thank you.
pretty much, pretty much. All right. So this is pretty much if anyone can figure this out. This is our segment of just getting to know each other and like asking the questions of like really what gets us in the movie. See, I thought of a couple too. See, like here. First of all, what you? I remember you telling us what was the first movie that you saw, but what was the movie that got you and said like I'm hooked and like I just want to see everything that comes out. Like for me, it happened later in life, but I want to hear you first.
Oh, let me think about that. It's a tough question.
Okay, okay.
Um,
Let me go. Let me go while you think about it. See, what got me was actually like the tough times with no cable, no nothing, no internet. I just got DVDs, and I would just get a bunch of DVDs and just watch all of them. Doesn't matter which one it was. It was just watching one after another, whether it was a drama or a horror. I was make like no, actually, you know what? I've always been closed-minded, even with music and movies. Like I found it what I liked, and that's what I had, and that's all I wanted, and that was it.
Uh-huh.
So then when I came, it was actually when I came to Costa Rica, I started to open my mind a little bit, and I started watching a little more dramas and stuff that's on TV and chick flicks and like whatever it was, as long as it was good acting, good story, and I could follow it, I went with it. So for me, it happened later on in life.
For me, it happened. I'm in high school, and I'm here living in Costa Rica. And same thing, no cable, no internet back in those days. And getting it was with animation. And I had a friend of mine. Oh, I met someone that had this huge collection of VCR tapes of some things I've never even heard of. That's where I got introduced into Evangelium, Ghost in the Shell, Akira, and stuff like that. So when I first saw, let's say for example, Ghost in the Shell, I was just blown away. That was like my first, no, my second experience in cyberpunk, and but it was the first time seeing it, the Japanese style, and it was
Mhm.
just like I need more. I just can't. This like an hour and a half or an hour, like 16, 80 minutes of 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 a movie is not enough for me. And I just started looking for the comics, the mangas, anything I could find regarding Ghost in the Shell. That was the one that really was just like an eye opening for me.
Yeah, that was the thing, man. Like I always liked movies, and it was always like I grew up with them, no matter what, whichever was coming out. But I didn't want to watch anything out of my genre until like later on, like nothing. It was only martial arts or only cartoon or only action and only this actor, and that's it. And I would not branch out until later on.
No, I started that very young. Pretty much it was you had close circles, and so anyone who would hey, this movie's cool, or read this or look at this or try this out, I would always give it a shot and
Hmm.
see if it see if it was cool or not. And sometimes there were misses, but sometimes people just out of the ballpark and are like, oh, where did this come from?
That's true. All right, go. Your turn.
Okay, what movie made you think about, let's say you watched that movie and it made you think like, oh my god, how would I react if I was in these shoes, or it was me going through that?
It would have to be. It'd have to be Aliens number two. I was like 12, man. I used to play with my boys with that. We'd grab the guns and just like act out those scenarios. Like that was the scenario we would play in every single time. It was Aliens. Aliens 2 is that was our main. What was it that was like our comeback place. Like this, that's where we fought. That's where we always started and everything. Then we'd move on to another game, but Aliens 2 is where I was just like, man, what would I do? I don't know, man. I don't know if I could go in there. Oh yeah, that one and Predator. I watched them both, even though they're older movies. I watched them when I was like 12 at the same time. It was one of the first movies I ever watched, but let alone like not that wasn't a cartoon that I was already watching. Like now grown up movie, like not a PG-13, or not even PG,
Uh,
like PG or a family film. Like it was Aliens and Predator were the first ones that I really saw before I started watching Terminator and well everything that really came out in the '90s, right? So
yeah. No, the movie that made me sit down and like think about it was when I saw my first zombie movie. I think it was oh, what was it called? What was the name of those first zombie movies? Like the first apocalyptic zombie movies?
well, Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah, that one, The Night of the Living Dead. When I
The
saw that
black and
movie,
white.
I was like traumatized. Like, how would I handle everyone around me turning into zombies? I mean, I have no provisions. I have no like survivor skills. If I go out in the woods or stuff like that, I mean, how would I handle something like that? That movie just really made me sit down and
In
think
another,
about like,
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but the thing was my next question. So in another way, I was actually going to ask, what was the first horror movie that got you? So was that like that zombie movie was like the first one that like really like it
oh
made you
no,
scared? No.
no, 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 it was Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one with Johnny Depp. I couldn't even shower at night after watching that movie like for a week.
I snuck into my parents' room when my brother was watching it, and he kicked me out 3 times. And I still snuck back in, and I went under the bed, and I saw the scene where he grabs him and brings him under, and all the blood goes flying. Yeah, I didn't sleep for like 3 days, man.
Yeah, I said that movie traumatized me. I'm showering. I like my mom. It was during the winter, so usually sometimes we showered at night. And when I had to shower at night, like I like mom, can you send me outside the door just in case I scream?
The
Because
thing
that part traumatized me. Like you're there in the bathtub, just gone, and all of a sudden this hand pops up between your legs. I mean,
was,
that was some scary shit.
Jason never got me because he would only kill teenagers, and I was young. For some strange reason, I seem to think of that common sense. I was like, oh well, it doesn't mean he's gonna get me because he doesn't. I'm too young for him. Then I never watched Hellraiser till I was like in Costa Rica. So by the time I saw it, oh, I roasted the hell out of that movie. That movie sucks. It sucks. I don't care what anyone says. It was good at its time. If that was good at its time, your time sucks. It was sucking bad. All I could do is laugh throughout that whole movie. Oh God, no, 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 no. So yeah, you pretty
No,
much answered my second one with zombies and Freddy. You punk. You took my answer.
Does it the let's see the Night of the Living Dead didn't like shock me as a horror movie. I mean, the zombies costume were disgusting, which I found cool, and all the tension was like of them surviving, the apocalypse, which got me, had me thrilled about it. Like, they're running every time a zombie appears and stuff like that. But Freddy Krueger is just like, this guy attacks you in your dreams. If you fall asleep, boom, he's there, and you haven't done anything against the guy, and he's just popping out trying to take you away. That's what freaked me out about it.
When I saw it as a kid, man, I didn't go over sewer tops for like 5 years because I was still young, right? Like I watch it now, and Tim Curry just makes me laugh. Like, oh man. But yeah, at that time, yeah, I didn't go over any sewer like at all.
No, you ever saw the Boogeyman?
Me and my brother, we used to say because that movie was absolutely horrible for me. We used to call him the Boogity Man, and what he did is he would come at night when you're sleeping, and he teabag your eyes. So it'd go on top of you like, he'll like, get off me. He's like, you got boogity, son. You got boogity. Oh hell no, that movie was shit. It was shit. Oh yeah, no, no, no. But anyways, what was your story? That was mine. So what about that movie?
The no, it's like the first movie I saw is like, how stupid do you have to be to look in the mirror and say boogeyman, boogeyman, boogeyman 3 times, and you know that someone's gonna come and kill you. I spent the
Yeah.
whole movie scratching my head like, why are these people doing this? I mean, it's like what they're trying to prove something that it's bogus, but people are dying around them, and you just don't want to believe it still. I mean,
It's
that's
the
the
Yeah, no, it's horrible. It's the same as like Candyman and Bloody Mary. Why? Just why? Why? Like, I go to the washroom or bathroom, whatever you want to call it. close the door in the dark and say the name 3 times so it can stab you in the face. It's like, I'd rather just go take a shit and get out. Then I'm good. Then I'm good, man. Why do I want to die going into the bathroom? Like, it makes no sense. I don't get
Yeah.
those. Some premises are just like they're just out there, man. But here we go. Now I got the movie. I got the movie. Listen to me. I got the question of questions because this still counts as a movie, and I'll even answer you first because remember it clearly. Do you remember your first adult movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
I
took
don't
me a
remember the name
second.
of it, but I remember.
No, no, no. I'm not even asking you to describe it. I'm just saying, do you remember the scenario? Like, guy, I remember I can't even remember how old I was, but it was my friend from down the street, and he calls me. He's like, "Come over, come over, come over." I'm like, "What the hell?" So I go over, and it was almost. I swear to God, it was like Euro Trip because he was like, it was an aerobic tape. He's like, but they didn't do aerobics. So I was like, what do you mean? He's like, there was no exercising. He's like, there was no exercising. It was just like an aerobics movie, quote unquote. But oh man, I remember that, and that was just like days. I was like, whoa.
No, I wasn't. I was in school, senior year in school. Like last year, I'm about to graduate and go to high school, right? And they sent us a group homework. So we go over to this classmate's house, and it's maybe like three guys and two girls, something like that. And the kid goes like, hey, have you guys ever you're interested in watching some porn? And I'm like, what? And then one of the girls says like, yeah, I want to, I'm interested. I mean, I never seen one. And that's where the first time we saw porn. And I'm
I
like,
keep,
oh,
I
so that's how it is.
I keep forgetting the age difference. You see the difference in stories? Mine was already on VHS. It was normal. Yeah, you had to go through magazines and shit.
No, let's say the first porn mag I saw was Playboy, and that's in the neighborhood. I used to hang out with some older kids, and one of these kids, he was the paperboy delivery. And we would go out with them to go around, to deliver the papers. And then after that, we would go to like a deli store or something like that, right? They would sneak in and they would steal porn mags. And so then we would go out and just check them out. But it's like I was like 8 years old or something like that. So looking at naked girls really just didn't have that impact at me like after a couple years afterwards.
That's pretty funny, but that's a different conversation. All right. So, oh no, you got one more question. What's up? Shoot. I think you do, right?
Okay, a movie that you enjoyed so much, but you don't want to watch it because after watching it, you're a puddle of tears and mucus.
Oh, crying movie. Hmm.
Mhm.
Well, see, this is the thing. I cry now. I just cry at anything. I cry at Pixar. I cry anything that can make me relate family wise or anything like that. It kills me. But a movie that I can say like I turn to if I'm feeling kind of down would have to be Chasing Amy. It's a
Chasing
weird
Amy.
one. Yeah, it's a weird one. It's not exactly like a chick flick or anything, but that would be my go-to. Like I remember when I was having. I'm not gonna go into the whole story of everything, but I was having problems with my girlfriend at the time, and I saw that movie, and it like because for me, movies just solve all answers. They resolve all conflicts I have, and they answer all my questions. Like all the time. I put myself in that movie. I'm like, oh yeah, maybe that'll work for me. It doesn't, but I did it. So when I saw Chasing Amy, that's my movie. That's the one I go to. If I'm like, man, this sucks, or I'm pissed, or this or that, and I just want to like forget, that's the one.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
No, there's a movie. I mean, I love the movie when I watched it, and I always recommend it to people to watch. But I've only watched it one time. I can't watch it again because it breaks my heart, and it's been like that since I was like 16 years old. I have only been able to watch that movie once, and
Which
it's an animation movie. It's called Graveyard of the Fireflies.
uh-huh.
It's regarding it's Japan's Second World War after the atomic bomb fell in Hiroshima,
Hmm.
and it's how a little boy, his baby sister, and his mom tried to survive the period, right? And it's so tear jerking and heartbreaking through the whole movie that at the end, I just, I mean, I have to pause the movie more than once. It's because I'm crying. I have boogers coming out of my nose. You know, I have to stop it to to control myself. I get myself under control. 15 minutes afterwards, I'm the same thing. It's like the movie was, watched in cycles. And all these cycles is like, Brian, control yourself. It's just a cartoon. These are fictional characters. And once I finished the movie, I was like, I mean, I was devastated. I was so sad and so torn apart. Like, all this shit these people went through after the bombing is like, I mean, I love the movie. I enjoyed it so much, but it's just so heart wrenching that I couldn't only watch it one more time. If I watch it again, I'll end up again a puddle of muds and you know s-
See,
tissue paper all over the face and everything.
see, I've cried hard in movies like when I was like a fucking kid. I was so like animal rights, woo, PETA. I was so animal rights that I cried in Dances with Wolves when they were killing the buffaloes. And my mom's like, "What's wrong?" They're like, "I'm like, why?"
Oh,
I'm like,
that was a
"Why are they
touchy.
killing them?" I'm like, "They didn't do anything."
And then you just see the carcasses without any buffalo skins. It's like I'm like, why would they do such a thing?
That one made me ball out. But again, it never happened again. And the other one was Braveheart made me ball out too. And he screams out freedom. I was like, ah, I
Oh,
fucking died.
when he's killed at the end.
Yeah, that one got me. When I watched it the second time, I thought I was gonna fuck. I thought I was gonna cry my eyes out. But I survived. I survived. I was okay.
Oh yeah, that one, the Graveyard of the Fireflies. I mean, even thinking about it, sometimes I'm like getting, no man, it's like that movie
Uh,
is just,
you know
it's
what?
like you're sticking a knife in me, just. "Urgh."
I'm gonna put one additional question because we were gonna do a segment, but we both have too much to do right now. We actually have to take time away from our families. Oh, so hard to do the podcast. But we got to do. We were talking about it off air when we were just starting before this, but I want to just mention one memory I have going to the theater. That was like one of my favorites, and I was with my boy Foley, and we went to go see Signs, the M Night Shyamalan and Mel Gibson.
Uh huh.
And we're in high school, so what do we do? What's our great idea? We fill up 2 flasks of rum, and we go into Signs. And all I remember is we're watching and it's going and it's going and I'm like yo yo and I'm like hitting him and I'm all excited and he's like shut up like I always do, it doesn't matter, even when I'm normal I start hitting you and start screaming, I can care less. And so and then the end happens where he tries to do the twist, just kind of like they beat the alien and leave. Man, I got up, first of all I'm hammered, and I'm like, what kind of an ending is that? I'm like, what is going on? I want my money back. Oh, like my friend was so embarrassed. He like grabs me, starts bringing me down. I'm like, no, that's some bullshit. Like, what kind of movie is this? For me, it was one of my. I don't remember getting home, but I remember all of the theater things that I said. It was. I love that memory. It still stays with me to this day.
Oh, let me share mine. Let me share mine. This is like early 2000s, right? I'm I'm single. I haven't even met my wife yet, and I'm at work. I go to work, and a coworker like offers me a special brownie, and I take it, right? And so I'm at work and I realized that that was the opening night for Dungeons and Dragons, the movie, right? The acting movie.
With Marlon Wayans?
Uh huh. And so I go to my best friend. It's like, hey, let's go to the movies tonight. I really want to go see Dungeons and Dragons. But
Okay.
if the movie's good, we will enjoy it. If the movie sucks, I have a special brownie, so we'll be laughing at the movie while we're
We'll still enjoy it.
exactly. So she go like, sure, let's go. I'm in. I'm down. So we get out of work. We go to the to last scene. The last hours like at 10 o'clock. We made it on time. And so before the movie starts, we split the brownie in half, and she has a piece and I have a piece, right? So we're sitting there watching the movie, and it's like the movie was horrible. It sucked. It was like, oh my god, what was I thinking? And so the whole movie, I'm like, we look at each other like, dude, are you high? Like, no. Are you? Yeah, no. And this movie
You know.
sucks. And it's like we just spent the whole movie just waiting for that to hit us, and it never did. Movie finishes, and we're walking out of the theater, and we go to the parking lot, and all of a sudden we just both of us stop at the same time, and we look at each other, start laughing, and say, "Dude, we're stoned." So
Oh
that's a
man.
memory I can never forget. I mean, I remember almost vividly, step by step, how everything went that day.
Oh man. See that these are the conversations I love. All right. So there's not much to review right now, but like usual, I go on the internet and let other people do my job, and I find the rumors that most of them you find out are not true. But hey, I got the news. So let's see what's up here. Let's see. It's telling me
What you got?
my battery's gonna die, but I don't care. We're good. Okay, so what I got is so with this whole coronavirus going on, the cronizzle was going on with stopping all industries, including Hollywood. What they did was because remember I was saying they wanted to do Black Widow and maybe put it on Disney Plus.
Uh
That
huh.
got off. They took that off the table real fast, and they want to keep it in theater. But what they did was they pushed it back. So now all the Marvel films are coming later in time. So what I got for Phase Four and what they added, which is official, which is from Kevin Foggy when he did, I think it was, I think he did like San Diego Comic Con news, but they're just not doing anything about it, right?
Uh
So
huh.
we got Black Widow coming out in November, which is hopefully when they say we can go back outside, is not earlier. Eternals now got pushed to next year in February. Shang-Chi comes out in May. Doctor Strange 2 gets pushed now to November. That's all of 2021. Then for 22, you got it starts with Thor in February, Black Panther 2 in May, and what they added officially now was Captain Marvel 2.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
yeah, she comes out in July, which would almost close that out. So everything gets pushed, and we got to wait for Black Widow now. And looks like the Disney Plus shows as well are doing some refilming. So we got no Winter Soldier, we got no WandaVision, we got nothing coming out right now. Sucks.
Yeah.
I talk about him like he's my friend. My boy Ti, what is it? Tiaika Waititi actually did a live Instagram, which is really cool. And what he announced was right now he's in the running to be the director for Deadpool 3, which will stay rated R.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah, so he'll work with Ryan Reynolds to get that to happen. Also, he confirmed. I should be more organized, but I got the fan on me over here. He did confirm that there is no Silver Surfer going to be in Thor, and Beta Ray Bill is someone they want to add. So he could be teasing it, saying like, "Okay, we don't have him to bring him out later." But right now, it's looking like it's just Guardians of the Galaxy, Christian Bale's character because he's the villain,
Hmm.
and then just New Asgard and Natalie Portman and everything like that. So because she's obviously going to be the new Thor, which I think she's going to be the new love interest for the Queen of Asgard, which is Valerian.
There's no Valkyrie.
Valkyrie. Shoot, I thought of a different movie. Valkyrie. And let's see what else we got. Ah, yes. Ant-Man 3 is officially go now. They actually have one of the writers for Rick and Morty, Jeff Loveness. I'm like, all right. I don't mind Rick and Morty. It's not exactly my cup of tea, but there's some episodes that I can like truly laugh at. And then there's other ones where it just doesn't get me. I just like watch it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And from that, that is pretty much the news, man. Like, really, that's all that's going on. I did look up something that you brought up at the end of last show, though. First thing to circle back to what we were talking about for the anti-heroes, Hulk would be the first one because he came out like way before Wolverine did because he came out because of Wolverine, and then Punisher and also Ghost Rider was one.
Mm.
And then from that, the Keanu Reeves. Did you think about who you'd like him to play in the MCU?
Actually, I did give it some serious thought, and I actually went through all the characters that Marvel comic books that I liked, and Johnny Blaze from Ghost Rider. I think he'll be
That's
a cool
Keanu
Johnny
Reeves.
Blaze.
You come on, man. That's who I told you they were gonna play. You're like, I don't like it. I told
See, the
you.
thing is like when I read Ghost Rider, it's it was the second writer that was the Ghost Rider. Johnny Blaze was just this guy that was just hanging in the back that was the Ghost Rider before him and stuff like that. But he was always like this mysterious guy with the trench coat coming out, help the rider, then he'll disappear again. I would like him to be that Johnny Blaze.
So what are you telling me? There's two Johnny Blazes? Because remember, Johnny Blaze
No,
is the original Ghost
Johnny
Rider,
Blaze is like yeah, he's like the first
the
Ghost
one we
Rider.
all know, the Nicolas Cage movie, the one that we know. He's Johnny Blaze from the comic.
Uh huh. But then afterwards, like a new writer that appears afterwards.
The Latino one, the one that was on Agents of Shield.
Uh huh. So, but Johnny Blaze was still. Let's say Johnny Blaze wasn't the writer anymore, but he still kept some of his powers. So
Mm.
he would be like going around hunting demons and stuff like that. That's the type. That's the Johnny Blaze I would like Keanu to do.
All right, all right. So I told you I'm like he's gonna be Johnny Blaze. He's like I don't like it. Like what do you mean you don't like it?
Say,
What is that?
as the Ghost Rider, like turning into a flaming skull, and then and
That's
riding
what
a
you don't like.
motorcycle and stuff. Like no, but if it's like the one that I read in the comic books, like he's not the writer anymore, but he's always there, chasing against the demons and dark spirits and stuff like that, and hunting them down. But he's like more mysterious, and he's always, like you just think he's doing some shady business, but he's not. That's the Johnny Blaze I would like to see him do.
I actually heard this. I can't remember who I heard say this, and I think it's a pretty good idea. He shouldn't be the Silver Surfer. It's kind of like where you're going. You don't pick him to be the Silver Surfer, but he could be Norrin Rad.
Like before he turns into the Silver Surfer,
Exactly. Like just
that'd
that
be
dull
awesome.
guy who, like, you know what I mean? He just walks around with one face. His wrist, what is it, resting bitch face, and he just walks around, and you know what I mean? It's just how the culture there was. I think he could be a good Norrin Rat. It wouldn't be that bad.
It'll be interesting. I would like to. I mean, I'll go and watch it.
Yeah, for sure. Now, what I did find as well, what we were talking about was new movies. So some of them already have trailers, but they're getting pushed, and some of them actually they're just being announced. So I guess it's a little bit of the news. It's something that's going on right now. You know what I mean? So this is
Hmm.
what I got. First, these are the ones I'm excited for. There's a lot coming out, surprisingly, but a lot of them for me just look like crap. So, for me, we got Wonder Woman 2 still yet to come. Another trailer should be dropping soon, actually. Then
Cool.
they're making The Croods 2. I like the first one. I loved it, especially if they get the original voices. Then they made there's also the that new Chris Rock movie, Spiral. That's like Saw 22 or Saw 25 or whichever number they're at now.
Yeah, I saw the trailers to that one.
Yeah,
Didn't.
we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
There's the Free Guy movie, which is the Fortnite, the Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, dying to watch that one.
Yeah, this one I want to see for sure. This one looks good. Then there's the new Pixar movie Soul. That's actually with Jamie Foxx and Tina Fey. I love Tina Fey. I loved her in 30 Rock with Alec Baldwin. Two greatest characters. I swear to God, ever. And then there's a new Christopher Nolan movie called Tenant. It's with Denzel Washington's son. It's it's a no, it's what the hell is his name? Sorry, it's a Christopher Nolan film. It's hard to explain. You gotta watch the trailer.
It's either you
And then
don't.
yes, exactly. That's exactly what it is, man. It's one of those movies that you're like explaining. You're like, just watch it instead. It's easier. They're actually making a Snake Eyes movie from GI Joe.
Yeah, I think I heard that news since last year, like in December or starting January, that they were gonna make a Snake Eye movie,
Oh motherfucker, this is
but I
new.
haven't seen anything afterwards.
I found out last this week, so screw you. It's new. It's new. And then we got the third installment of Rob Zombie. Oh no, it's not Rob Zombie. This is yo the no the new ones with Jamie Lee Curtis. That's a whole new director, right?
Yeah,
Okay, well the second installment then I should say is Halloween Kills is coming out. There's no trailer yet, but it's the new one. And then there's the Bond movie that for me finally looks like a Bond movie. The
I'm
No
dying to
Time to
watch that one.
Die. It's about damn time, man. Like, oh yeah, shout out to the pareja who saw us last time. But the thing was, is I bring that up because the last Bond movie I actually enjoyed was Skyfall, and I went to the theaters with them to go see it, and we enjoyed it. Like it was, but that was like the last Bond movie I felt was like a Bond movie. The other
Yeah,
one's good. I'm not hating on them. I'm a Bond fan, but it's just they didn't feel like I kind of like how you say with Star Wars. I know it needs to grow and needs to change and all the crap, but it did feel like a Bond movie. When I watch this trailer, it feels like a Bond movie now. Then
but
for you, huh?
no, what about was I about to say? That's what I liked about these new Bond movies. It's like the first one that came out is like this
Oh,
isn't
yeah.
James Bond. He's not that smooth, but you see how the character change, his progression from flick to flick, and like now finally seeing this last one that's the trailer is like finally we're finally here. Like this is the Bond that we all know and love. And I mean, I'm super excited about this movie.
For me, it was more the format. Like I can watch him progress and grow and go through the heartaches that he has to go through and everything. But just like when I watched Casino Royale, I just didn't feel like a Bond film. Not even like, oh, I want my gadgets and I can already do this and I can already escape and I don't sweat and my suit never gets ruined. No, no, no. It was cool to see a different side of Bond, but it just for me, it just doesn't feel like a Bond movie. Skyfall did, and this
Yeah,
one really gets me excited for Bond again. Then for you super geeks, Dune is coming out. I never watched Dune. I know you do.
I'm planning on getting the books, and I'm dying to
Yeah,
read them.
exactly. Exactly. So Dune's coming out, and it's a hell of a cast too. I'll get that cast members for you. It's a hell of a cast. What I'm excited for is Coming to America 2. Eddie Murphy. Can't wait for that to come out.
I'm like, I want to see it because I enjoyed the movie when I first came out, but at the same time, I'm like, let's see, hopefully they come up with something good
Very
because
true.
I hope they don't ruin it.
Yeah. And last but not least, for anybody growing up, there's gonna make a Tom and Jerry movie where they have to work
What?
together. Yes, I put that
It's
same face on. I was shocked. I was shocked myself. I had to look it up myself to find out if it was real. I was like, what? Yeah, Tom and
I
Jerry, man.
gotta, I gotta see. I mean, I have no. Like, wow.
I
I don't
love.
know.
I used to always watch it, so I'm down. I'll wait to see the trailer and make sure it makes sense. So that's the only way for me to say it. Not even if it's good, it needs to make sense. Kind of like Sonic, where they shit all over at the very beginning with that new design and new stuff, and then you watch it and you kind of want to hate it, but it's not that bad.
No, I understand. I just hope that I hope they're able to pull off like the Detective Pokemon or something like that. Like you expecting to watch something bad, but it's not that bad as you thought it is, and you actually end up enjoying the movie at the end.
Barb was murdering you with your top 10. Murdering you with the top 10. Like, I get texts just chilling. And it's like, did he say Power Rangers? I was like, hey, man, that's his list. What do you want me to do? Like, no, no, don't come at me.
It's the thing is with Power Rangers. Like I tried to watch the series when it first came out. I hated it. I didn't like it at all. When the movie came out, the first movie came out, I watched it and it was like, it's all right, but it's still a Power Ranger movie. But when I saw this new adaptation, it was like, man, if this series would have been like this when it started, I would have been hooked on it, and I would have been a Power Ranger fan,
And
and
it
I'll
was
be wearing
too
the,
much
the
for
Go Go
kids,
Power Ranger T-shirt and everything. You know, I would have had at least a Power Ranger costume and the figurines and stuff like that. I mean, I would have gone hard for the Power Rangers if it would have been like this.
no,
That's why I put it
no,
on my top five because it was a movie that completely changed my opinion on a franchise.
no homo. You get hard for Power Rangers, baby. Or go hard, go hard. Oh, on that, I actually want to put one additional question because for me, I recommend this for everybody. No, and it's horrible. What is your guilty pleasure for movie? What I mean by that is this: go watch Three Amigos. That movie is so ridiculous. I'm talking so ridiculous that it's the greatest thing in the world. That's my guilty pleasure.
Yeah,
That
that's
like
the Chevy Chase,
short
Sheen Martin,
or no,
and
was it? Yeah, Martin Short
Martin Short.
and
Yeah.
yeah, I love that movie. That's my guilty pleasure. Everyone's like, yo, how can you watch that? I'm like, it's the greatest movie ever.
You know what was my guilty pleasure? I think it was Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd. That I forgot the name of the movie, but it's like they go to Russia and they have to like stop this nuclear missile to be launched and stuff like that. You never
No.
seen that one? Oh man, it's the movie. The movie's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous, but I just enjoyed it so much as a kid that every time I was able to watch it on TV, I would like sit down and watch it. I mean, it's one of those movies that I truly enjoyed.
Oh man. No,
I just
I'll look it up. Don't worry. We need to find a Google guy from the comments that they told us. We need a Google guy. If there's any takers out there who want to come and Google stuff for us, because again, we don't know what we're talking about. But yes, hey, I know we got a lot of things to do. I appreciate you coming out. I know you had to stop everything. My man here had a crazy morning, crazy day, but there's no way that I could leave you to not do the number two for today. Because if we didn't do it today, we were not going to do it. Exactly like I sent you the voice message. If we're not going to do it today, we're not going to do it. Like at all. I guarantee it. We'll talk a little bit during the week like we always do, but we will not do it. So it had to be today. So quick shout out and just thanks to everyone that's been listening to us because this guy doesn't really go on the internet or look for anything or be connected. So we actually have 100. Last time I checked, we have 121 views. Which when we
wow.
spoke Yeah, right? When we spoke was like 121 more views than what we thought we would actually get. So we're really pumped. I sent it to everyone just like you did. My boy Foley, my boy Big Dave. I sent it to my whole Puma team. I sent it to my brother. I sent it to the pareja. I've sent it to people in Canada, my boy Sean. I hope they both shared it on their Facebook and everything. And just we appreciate everyone that's listening and just man, I don't know, man. Just appreciate it. It's a feeling like I've never felt before. I enjoy this so much, and the fact that everyone's just like laughing with us and just listening, I love it, man.
Actually, I mean, I was happy just having one person being able to sit through the whole show and just listening to all this BS that we've been saying. Like now hearing like we have over 100 people, like, wow.
Right?
This
Right?
pandemic is doing us a great favor.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But thank you for listening to the Don't Listen to Us podcast episode 2. Hey, man, appreciate it again. Take care. Be safe. Don't go out too much. Hopefully we can be back outside soon and we can maybe like actually do a podcast where we're together and in the same room.
I'm dying for that to happen. I can't wait for all this to go back to normal and like having sitting right next to you.
Exactly. Exactly. And the same and like what you said last week, any suggestions, anything that you want us to review. My friend did want me to review one thing. I'll put the link actually under our show, which is called RoboCop Blowing Dicks. It is by far the stupidest and funniest thing you will ever watch. And put it this way, I'm not going to spoil it because I want to see people laugh and see their reaction. It is amazing. Just watch it. I watched it. I laughed my ass off. It's like 2 minutes. I sent it to you. Did you watch it?
Yes, it was
It's,
hilarious. I
it's,
laughed.
just, it's just funny. You hear the RoboCop music, and he's oh, just watch it, people. I swear, you won't regret it. All right, Brian. Take care, man. Get ready for work, and
Yep.
just be safe.
Take care, Coach. Shout out to everyone that's been supporting us. Again, please, any feedback is great. Um, the good, the bad, like so and so. We really do appreciate it. And I hope everyone does okay. Remember to wash your hands with water and soap now.
Exactly. The one comment they gave us is that we're hard to look at, so we both got haircuts. So take that.
I'm keeping my distance from the camera. Like,
All
hey, hello.
right. All right, man. Take care.
All right, peace, Coach. Later.